Having a steering wheel and pedals can elevate your virtual driving experience, bringing to life racing games and simulators on both PC and console. From Gran Turismo 7 to Assetto Corsa Competizione, the ideal setup can deliver an additional level of immersion, which enhances your involvement and competitiveness. But if you have around $500 to spend, which wheel and pedal set should you buy? Before we get into our rundown, it's worth noting that we've selected the $500 price point simply because it's a very popular area of the market. There will be some wheels that are slightly cheaper, and some also in this video that are slightly more expensive, but we'll do separate videos later for the entry-level, much cheaper wheels, and also the expensive destination stuff. It's at this level where you start to see products that appeal to both newcomers and to those who are looking to upgrade from the very entry-level devices. So, to clarify, we're looking at direct drive units only. We'll explain why in a minute, and then at the total cost to get a wheelbase, wheel and pedals, the bare minimum required to get up and running. We'll run you through the available options, explain the pros and cons, and also pick out some of our favourites. Now, there are three main areas of criteria. Obviously, we're going to be looking at the product as a whole, but within that, we're going to be focusing on the power and performance, so obviously how it feels and the newton meters of torque that it produces. We're also going to be looking at the available ecosystem, so for example, what wheels can you upgrade to, are the pedals upgradable, things like that. And then thirdly, we're also going to be looking at value for money. Is the bundle or the steering wheel or the wheelbase a good value proposition? So, we've mentioned before that we're only interested in direct drive wheels for this particular price segment. For the uninitiated, most wheels in this arena previously used belts, gears, or a combination of both to provide the force feedback effect that you feel through your palms. While that remains the case for some, we prefer direct drive units. Formerly the reserve of higher costs, Fanatec blew the market wide open with its more affordable DD in 2021, and since then, competitors have followed suit. They place a motor on the main steering shaft for smoother, more direct, progressive sensations, considered to be more realistic. I'm also just going to take a moment to explain what I mean when I'm talking about wheelbases and steering wheels, because you may not be aware of what that actually is. Now, the wheelbase is essentially the engine. That's what powers the steering, is what gives you the force feedback that you're going to need to be able to feel the car. And now the steering wheel is exactly that. It's just the steering wheel that attaches to the wheelbase. So that's the separation that you need to keep an eye on. Now, at this price level, it's popular to see a steering wheel bundled in with a wheelbase, and often with pedals as well. Generally, much cheaper devices come as a single unit, where the steering wheel cannot be detached from the base, unlike with quick-release direct drive systems with a separate wheelbase and steering wheel. Now, as I said earlier, we are excluding the very entry-level devices, and also the mid to high-end devices, such as this SimuCube combination that I've got on the rig right now. That also means that perennial top sellers by Logitech, the G29 and G293, are omitted. They're noticeably under budget, and their gear drive force feedback is outmoded in this day and age. If you're on a tight budget, however, these are recommended, alongside the likes of the Thrustmaster T128 and T248. With that in mind, we're excluding the very entry-level devices from the likes of PXN, Hori and Camus, either under budget or not quite making our quality cutoff. The C12 by Camus is a wheelbase and wheel in one, 12 Nm of peak torque, but it's around $600 without any pedals. Then we have Simagic, which will offer you fantastic Alpha Mini wheelbase within the budget. However, by the time you add a steering wheel and also the pedals, it's going to take you too far above the budget to be considered for this particular video. Asetek SimSports doesn't make a bundle in this range yet, but it is expected to sometime over the next 12 months, so worth keeping that one in mind. Right then, with the field whittled down, here are the sim racing bases, steering wheels and pedals that you should consider for around about $500. Oh, and also these prices will exclude any shipping costs and local import duties. We begin with a sim racing leviathan, Fanatec. Now owned by American gaming accessory giant Corsair, this brand is often seen as a default direct drive choice after it pioneered more attainable devices. Before its CSL DD turned up in 2021, nobody had offered a direct drive base in this price bracket. The wheelbase alone is priced at sub $300, outputting 5 Nm of peak torque. This is way under budget, except you'll need an actual steering wheel to attach to the base, plus some pedals. That's where the catchily titled CSL DD QR2 Ready to Race bundle comes in. The basic set includes a catch-all round wheel and the entry-level CSL pedals with a throttle and brake. This is a penny under $400 for PC players. You can then either purchase a load cell pedal upgrade or the Boost Kit 180, which increases peak output to 8 Nm for just over the $500 mark all in. For those on Xbox, there is the CSL DD QR2 Ready to Race McLaren bundle, which also still works on PC. To race on Microsoft's console, you will need an Xbox approved steering wheel, which this McLaren GT3 aping wheel is. Same wheelbase and pedals as the other bundle we mentioned, but with a different wheel and extra compatibility for $100 more at $500 total. One slight downside worth mentioning here that if you want a table clamp, it is going to cost you $30 extra, so bear that in mind if you're not someone who uses a cockpit. One main advantage of purchasing a Fanatec device is that there is a bigger range of different wheels, pedals and shifters than Walmart has flavours of chips. Aside from these bundles, you can also pick and choose. It'll cost you more, but you may want a different wheel or higher level pedals. It's up to you. But what about PlayStation compatibility, I hear you ask? Sorry, but the CSL DD isn't. Eesh. If you take the DD wheelbase, change the design a little bit at the back, insert the Sony chip, and sign a licensing agreement with its biggest racing game, then you get this, which is the Fanatec Gran Turismo DD. Now, for all intents and purposes, this is a CSL DD, although now it's compatible on PS5 and PS4. It also receives a pretty large price hike, so unfortunately, it's not really eligible for this comparison, I'm afraid. Sorry. It's $600 alone without any wheel or pedals, just the base. If you'd like a wheel and pedals, which you probably will, let's be honest, the cheapest 5 Nm bundle is $700 and 8 Nm is $800. Ouch. So on PlayStation, you cannot buy a direct drive Fanatec unit for around $500. Shocker. You can, however, pick up a Thrustmaster one instead. The T598 is a brand new device using unique technology that the French-American company touts as direct axial drive. It's outputting comparable torque to the aforementioned CSL DD at 5 Nm, but that's not peak here. It's constant, and then it can reach even higher levels for brief spurts. Importantly, for a whisker under the magical $500, it includes the base, the pedals, and a wheel, plus works on PC, PlayStation 4, and PlayStation 5. In the reverse of Fanatec, however, there isn't an Xbox version just yet. But, like Fanatec, there is a quick release system so that you can change and upgrade your wheels over time. Again, it will cost more, but it's optional. Like, you could, for example, buy another recently released wheel, the Hypercar from Thrustmaster. It's also worth noting that in 2025, there will be a load cell upgrade kit released for the pedals too. Now, if you don't know what a load cell brake pedal is, it's worth having a quick look, but basically it's going to give you a more realistic and more manageable brake pedal if you're looking to take things more seriously. Now, it's not the only Thrustmaster device in this market, as there's also the T300 RS GT for around $450 too. It also comes with a quick release system to swap wheels and pedals, and it's cheaper than the T598. But the T300, while perfectly decent, is older than the sun. Also, it uses an old quick release system, so if you want to use newer Thrustmaster wheels, you'll need to upgrade that. Plus, the pedals are the predecessor to the new set that come with the T598. And finally, it's not direct drive, it's actually belt driven. Smooth, yes, but not quite as precise or detailed or impactful as the modern direct drive technology. On the plus side, if you can find stock, it is generally heavily discounted, but at its recommended retail, we'd go T598 all day, every day. A small mention for the T248 here, which is around $400. Cheaper than the T598, certainly, but for $100 more, the newer device is worth the extra outlay. The belt-driven and Gran Turismo optimized TGT2 still exists as well. Unless it's in a sale, however, this is actually out of our price range, and crucially, we believe that this will be put out to pasture imminently now that the new direct drive range is available. Whether you're just starting out your sim racing journey or you're a seasoned pro looking to upgrade your cockpit, Next Level Racing likely has a product that suits you. It has a wealth of options from premium aluminium profile rigs to portable wheel and monitor stands. If all of this interests you, then do make sure you check out its website via the affiliate link in the description below. Doing so also helps support this Traxion channel. Oh, and also, by using that link, you get a 5% discount if you go on to purchase anything from Next Level Racing. So really, it's a win-win. Now this next entry is a strange one. Turtle Beach's first foray into sim racing hardware after pioneering in gaming headsets is an all-in-one direct drive wheel and load cell pedal set. On paper, this has everything you need. Working with PC and Xbox, in one box you get 3 pedals, a removable wheel, a desk mounting system, 4 paddles for gears and clutch, a button box, and even a giant LCD screen like a car dashboard. At launch, this device was north of $600, but whilst we are excluding limited time sales in this particular video, we do very regularly see the Velocity one available for under $500. We've even seen it once as low as $399.99. Factor in that it has a peak torque output of 7.2 Nm, the most in this price range, and this should be an insta-buy, so why not? We get a sense that it's trying too hard to appeal to every scenario in one purchase. The buttons feel cheap, and the wheel shape isn't ideal for every race type. While you can remove it, presently there is no ecosystem where you can purchase other designs. You're also effectively paying for items we feel most players won't use. There's a reason that a DDU or button box is often an extra for other wheels. They're pleasant optional extras, but not necessities. Moza Racing is a relatively new challenger brand, and it has been making serious waves. Unlike its elder colleagues, Moza has raced to the bottom as quickly as possible, meaning there are 2 items that we're going to cover in this video. First, there's the R3 bundle, the first Moza device for Xbox, and also PC. For $399, you get a 3.9 Nm peak torque wheelbase. Not 4 Nm, but 3.9. Strangely specific, that. You also get a round wheel, with Xbox-specific buttons, a desk clamp, and a 2-pedal set. A relative bargain, you're receiving less of an ultimate kick than equivalent Fanatec and Thrustmaster devices, thanks to the lower outputs, and frankly, the pedals are mediocre. Up a notch is the R5, which you can probably guess from the name, outputs up to 5 Nm of torque, 1.1 Nm more than the R3. This one isn't aimed at the Xbox player so much either, so the bundled wheel included is the ES, but for all intents and purposes, this is the same as the R3 bundles wheel, but without Xbox branding or compatibility. The pedals included are the same too. It's priced at $599. Looking past bundles, the R9 with, yes you guessed it, 9 Nm of peak torque on PC is available for sub $439. And we also find it is noticeably stronger than the R3 and the R5, making it a worthy upgrade option. The problem is that it can get a bit pricey. A table clamp is $49, and an ESK wheel is $139, so well north of $600 before pedals. Really, in this realm, you're looking at either the R3 or the R5. So then, our recommendations, and let's start with PlayStation. If you're a PS4 or PS5 user, our recommendation for a sub $500 steering wheel and pedal combo is the Thrustmaster T598. We think it performs very well. Yes, some of the materials feel a little bit cheap. There are certain compromises made to get that price down, but honestly, in terms of value for money, in terms of outright performance, we think that's the best pick for PlayStation users at this price point. For those on Xbox, we'd plump for the Fanatec CSL-DD, either a custom bundle or one of Fanatec's pre-made options, including the McLaren rim, for example. It may be old by some standards, but just like Nico Hülkenberg, it still packs a very big punch. And when you consider the wider Fanatec ecosystem, it's certainly worth considering even today. Finally, what if PC is your primary sim racing device? Well, lucky you, because you've got a huge amount of choice, it's never been better, and to be honest, nothing we've mentioned in this video is going to be a bad choice. It may be dull, it may be predictable, but we're going to go with the Fanatec CSL-DD for PC users as well as Xbox. Now, if you do go for a Thrustmaster T598 or a Moza R5, you're going to be happy as well. These are also fantastic choices, so just take the finer details into consideration. So that's going to conclude this video, our recommendations for sim racing hardware around about $500. But we of course want to hear from you guys. Let us know down in the comments below if you're going to be picking up any of these bundles, if you've got experience with any of them. Just tell us your thoughts so we can help everybody down in the comments below. It's also worth noting that you can find links to many of the products discussed in this video within the video description. Now, some of these will just be links to the product, some of them may be affiliate links, but we'll make sure that is clearly signposted. If you do click on the affiliate links, you may well get a discount, but also you will be supporting the Traxion channel in the process. Give this video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, subscribe to the Traxion channel for more sim racing content over the Christmas period and into 2025, and hopefully we'll see you on another video soon. Until then, thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.